Welcome back, folks, to another Fake Grand Order Divine Realm of the Round Table, Camelot, 6 Singularity. Where we last left off, well, I think we're about to enter, or at least close to entering, the Pyramid of Ozzy's Cell. Brace for impact, I suppose. Archers, nothing but archers. If I recall looking correctly at the quest, it looks like we'll be facing... what was it again? Those weird enemies. The octopuses, I guess? So, with that in mind, switch into Lancer mode. Single target lancers are always better. Actually, no, I think I'm dealing with mobs, so I should probably bring Karna and Liz. If you know about that logic, bring along these two. You know, I want to progress the story, but at the same time, I just kind of want to get this done and over with. So, then again, do I even have the room capacity for them? I'll see how far I can push it. I think I can get them that might be it. Yeah. Or I could just ditch this. Well, he doesn't need to have that craft essence. At the very least, one of these will suffice. Better yet, even one of these. Dragon Meridian. I'm confident he can get it up there quickly. And give Liz the kaleidoscope. What? Okay, fine. Like I said, I don't need to increase the bond. Just get this over with, because the longer I take, the shorter I have to make my videos. And again, not that there's anything wrong with that, but I'd rather get this going and underway.
O winds, I release you from your duties by the name of Nidocris. Give us a view into the heavens. The storm has ceased, Senpai. The sky's perfectly clear, blue as far as you can see. What a pleasant smile. It was worth putting on such a show. But that band of light exists in the skies of this era too. Yes, quite frustrating. The only thing that needs to shine in the sky is the sun. Foo-foo! All you need to do now is head west. You should reach the Grand Temple in about 2 hours. That's good. Then I'll take my leave here. May good fate accompany your journey. You're coming with us? Oops. Oh. I have no business at the Grand Temple, nor reason to stop you from going. We really were simply brought together by coincidence. I have always been a wanderer. I am unfit to keep the company of others.
Kinda sad there.
He laughed. Mash, did you feel anything strange from that servant just now? Nostalgia, perhaps, or that you know him somehow?
Oh, damn, that was still Da Vinci.
Nostalgia, perhaps, or that you know him somehow. I didn't really feel anything in particular. No, I actually did have a strange sensation. They're both servants, but something seemed different. I see. Then Lucius really might be his true name. Don't know what to make of that, though.
Right, he didn't look like an emperor.
Master, you know him? Wow, I see you know your stuff, Valderox. That's right, Lucius was an emperor of Rome. He appears in the Historia Regum Britanniae, but he was a very minor emperor. Anyway, the issue isn't his true name. What's strange is the noble phantasm on his right arm. That was Nuada's right arm, the shining arm Irgelthal. Well, he isn't actually Nuada, so there's no mistake that it's a replica. But even then, its power was extraordinary. It was able to defeat a sphinx, a creature of near divinity. What kind of mechanism could be behind it? I'm curious, so curious, and as someone who also has an artificial arm, I'm also envious. I want something like that, too. I want to defeat a sphinx all by myself, too. That's enough, useless chat. Are you going to the Grand Temple or not? I'm not made of time, you know. If I don't return by evening, they'll realize that I've been abducted. How disgraceful. I think it's already obvious. Sorry, Queen Nitocris. You totally forgot you were there. You act polite, but you've got a sharp tongue, girl. What's your name? Oh, pardon my rudeness. My name is Mash Kierlight. This is Da Vinci, and this is our master, Valderox. Very well. It's a little late, but I'll forgive you. None of the names are on the criminal register. What a relief. Now then, I bestow upon you the duty of escorting me. Protect me until we reach the Grand Temple. We need to protect you, the Queen? Everything we heard up to now suggests that this desert is your domain. This isn't my domain. It's the Sun King's. It is not even a domain per se. It's a land at the end of the world. Stopping the sandstorm like it did means the demonic beast outside of our control will invade. That's why we must guard me, just in case. You have a responsibility to bring me to the Grand Temple. I see. Beast outside of your control. I see. Mash, let her know. Understood. Master, executing orders. Queen Nitocris, is that thing sneaking up behind you a creature of the desert? Huh? Wow! I don't recall ever seeing such a demonic beast. Destroy it, Valderox. Jumping around with voices is really getting tiresome and old. But this is a task I've taken upon myself, so just have to bite through it. Nice. Well, two things can go about from this type of battle. Nice. I think that might be a golden feather, since we're facing these octopuses. And last time I recall from Fate Zero, they dropped feathers. But then again, it probably can't be feathered, but we'll check. Yeah, it's
Wait, no, they didn't drop the feathers? Oh no, that's right. They dropped the snake eye jewels. The ones that dropped the feathers were the bugs. Well, man.
Oh, damn it.
Oh, just what I was waiting for. Just in case it doesn't die.
命令とは面白い。承知した。神々の王の慈悲を知れ。絶滅とはこの一筋。焼き尽くせバサビーシャンティ。
And I think now we face the sun god, Ozymandias. Actually, no, I'm jumping ahead here. We're facing a caster, so it could be just Neocrease by herself. Well, likely not, that's what it is, so hit her hard with everything we got again. Rider. I mean, I could bring in Ozzy as well. He isn't exactly quite leveled yet, so he wouldn't do much. But I am curious to see what he can do. And I'll take full responsibility for the battle. Actually, like I said, I'd be taking these things seriously. I should.
Where did those beasts come from? I never seen or heard or anything like them.
They were octopuses.
Maybe we're the ones who lured them out. Seeing as how we're, we shouldn't say we're from Chaldea. Neocrease isn't exactly an ally after all. Seeing as how you're what? Oh, seeing as how we're just traveling performers carrying rare goods, of course things like that would come after us. How suspicious. It's clear that you aren't subjects of the Sun King, but where exactly are you from? Are you mountain people, or citizens of the Holy City? And besides, what exactly is a master? I heard the Pharaoh mention that term a few times. You're a servant, but you don't know what a master is? Even if you were summoned by the Singularity, the Holy Grail, you should have at least some knowledge as a servant. I was summoned by the great Pharaoh, the Sun King Ozymandias. He ordered me to work for him. That's all I need to know. I don't know what it means to be a servant. I'm a pharaoh first and foremost. Being a heroic spirit comes second. So that name comes up after all. Okay, this will be a long story. Let's talk while we walk. Queen Nitocris, you're in charge of these sandstorms. Well, not just them, but the protection of the desert as a whole. You haven't been given any other knowledge at all. Am I correct in assuming this? I wouldn't say none at all. I am aware of the state of the war. Pharaoh Ozymandias rose to power not too long after being summoned to this era. His territory of Egypt is proof of that. The pharaoh saved his subjects that were summoned together with the land. Subjects were summoned with the land? That's right, likely due to the pharaoh's great power. For normal heroic spirit summons, it's only the individual, the hero themselves. However, Pharaoh Ozymandias was different. In his case, he is the nation, where when he appears, it is only natural that his lands would also be restored. Anyway, the pharaoh showed us his right to rule as king. However, there were some who opposed him. They were the indigenous, the Saracen mountain people, and the citizens of the holy city you mentioned. The people of Jerusalem, right? Wait a second, did you just say Jerusalem? Your Majesty? Who exactly are you, really, mentioning Jerusalem after all this? That doesn't exist anymore. The Holy Land was destroyed. All those who live in this land already know that. What's that supposed to mean? I thank you for saving me. However, this is a different issue altogether. I knew I couldn't allow you to enter the Great Temple. Your actions will be what decides that. Come, envoys of the king, ascertain the truth of these people. Your Majesty, Master, Queen Nitocris is getting ready for battle. No, I won't fight. That's the least I can do to pay you back. They will be the ones to test you. You have a choice before you. Live in this land and dedicate yourselves to the Sun King, or you may refuse. Refusal means that the wastelands of death will be your final resting place. Either that, or the Lion King's. No, that will not happen. Fate converges upon our King Ozymandias. O great lion-bodied beast, bestow a trial upon them. Show me the truth they stand by. The king of Egypt, the pharaohs had a different level of authority than the kings of other nations. They were worshipped as gods that rule over men, and they flaunted their power as such. A living god is the most suitable term. However, when Nitocris, I feel a little sorry for her. She's too much of a normal person? Yes, exactly. The Sphinx's power is being kept to about 10%. This may be convenient for us, but living as a pharaoh like this must be harsh for her. Save your secret talks for later. Now is the time for you to prove your innocence. Yes, ma'am. Boy, another Sphinx.
勝つも負けるも派手に使い切ろう。舐めてくれたね。こいつは高くつくよ。
I guess I'll just unleash 2,000 right now.
木図と消え
ファラオの真意を見るがいい。褒美をやろう。光なき
I know it won't do as much damage, but still. Still though.
全能の我が子、そして平伏せ我が無限の闘気。太陽はここに降臨せい。ラムセウム
was a hefty amount of damage for a single. Actually, no. That was a respectable amount of damage.
太陽を落とした女ってな
He was only at level 30 as well.
この程度か。
舐めてくれたね
Just in case you get 6 more hits.
いいね
ダジャクダジャクダジャクダジャク
I didn't realize the charge was negated.
この
Ozzy is
程
a
度か
force to be reckoned with for sure.
わかったいいねはっはっ
この程度か。
Okay, so it was a mistake bringing out along Ozzy.
よかろう。
任せな
もろいもろい
So close.
この程度か。
You know what? Just finish him off.
任せたいよそうだよよし
Another golden scatter.
この程度世が出る必要もなか
I
った。
can't get over the fact that he and Hans Christian Andersen share the same voice. But it is what it is.
We did it, Master. The Sphinx is retreating into the sky.
Good work, Mash.
I'm surprised she managed with such a weak body. Upon closer inspection, her hands and legs are still trembling. Queen Nitocris, the Sphinx has let us go. Is this the end of your so-called trial? Yes, you're very impressive. Your strength has been recognized by the Sun King. In that case, my guidance is unnecessary. Fear not and pass through this storm. The King's benevolence will be your light and welcome you. Farewell. Oh, she's gone. That just means she decided to draw the line. She probably thought she got too attached if she stayed any longer. Still, this means we're safe for now. The other sphinxes that aren't around won't attack. As she said, we should cut through the storm. It's finally time to confront the truth. But what exactly is going on in this singularity?
And I only have 7 minutes of dialogue before I cut to the next video. Gotta sing quartz. Ozymandias. So now we're facing Ozzy for sure. So for this battle, bring along your riders and a single target assassin. Just make sure you keep your assassin alive. So Drake could stay there just to clear the first mob. Actually, I need 2 mobbing riders. So let's see. Sure, why not Santa? Santa can get the job done. And then right here we need an assassin. There's only one assassin that comes to mind that can get the job done. Several, actually. NP5. Why make things any harder than they need to be?
I see the silhouette of a temple. I don't know for certain, but this should be the last hill. The wind is strong. Master, be careful. Stay behind me. I'll deploy my noble phantasm and go straight through. If we can just get past here, well, huh?
What an awesome temple, or what's that ridiculous structure?
It's like a floating city on a sea of sand. What a feat of engineering. You can tell just by looking at it. So that's the palace of the Sun King Ozymandias, the legendary Shining Temple Complex, Ramesium Tentirius.
What's that?
Alright, Roman always gives a lecture at times like this. The Sun King of Ozymandias, originally Ramesses II, the greatest, most powerful pharaoh of ancient Egypt. Yes, a true pharaoh among pharaohs, called himself the God King. He brought a great prosperity to Egypt around 1300 BC. It's not unusual for pharaohs to see themselves as gods, but even then, the Sun King was always the closest one to the sun. He was also known as a great architect, so great that it's even said he proclaimed all temples on this earth were built by me. If that's true, he may be linked to the story of humanity's oldest dynamo, the Dendera light system. He's also called the Construction King as well. That great temple is likely one of his noble phantasms.
So Nitocris didn't make the furniture?
Let's go inside. This may be my first time visiting an Egyptian building.
Oh! Kinda like it from MASH. She's getting all this... what would be the word? Sightseeing? Seeing as she was always cooped up. Anyways, continuing on with the story dialogue.
I don't see anything blocking our way. The inside seems rather cool, too. However, Mash, there's something I want to confirm first. And in transmissions from Roman. Oh, I'm sorry, I got carried away. Our connection to the doctor hasn't been restored yet. As expected, this proves my hypotheses. Valderox, Mash, the race ship brought us to the 13th century Middle East. That's for certain. However, this isn't entirely 13th century Earth. My staff can measure magical energy and... the quality of magical energy has changed since we came here. The magical energy here is much older. Nitocris said that this is the territory of Egypt. She wasn't just speaking of our location. This desert is from the BC era. I have no idea why, but... in this singularity, the world ruled by Ozymandias has been transported over entirely. Space-time itself is in disarray. That's the reason why we couldn't race ship to Jerusalem and why we can't contact Chaldea right now. No, wait, and the sixth singularity isn't Holy Land, but this desert? Can't say for sure yet. What I do know is that this Egyptian territory is like a foreign body in this world. In addition, according to my measurements, there is another location in this territory where space-time is distorted. Even more distorted than the desert? Yes, that's a good way to put it. This is just a hunch, but it might be the key to our search. I'm curious as to exactly what it is, but in any event, we should solve the mystery right in front of us first. Let's head to the great temple of Ozymandias. If legends are true, he should be a fussy, handsome boy.
wonder if I can give him that same voice as Hans Christian Andersen. Sleepy, so... No. Sounds more scary now. Scott the night. Something like that, I think. Sleepy, so sleepy.
Senpai, we were given VIP treatment right upon entering the temple, and brought straight to the throne room, but... This tan man rubbing his eyes on the throne, could that actually be King Ozymandias? So you finally come, mysterious travelers. You're a little late, but I don't mind. Having overcome the trial of the Sphinx, you have permission for an audience with the king. Now bow down before him. If you do, his majesty may awaken from his weariness and speak to you. At once. An excellent sight. I feel as excited as if I had done it myself. He is the greatest pharaoh, the most courageous, most authoritative pharaoh. He is fit to be a god. He is the Pharaoh Ozymandias, subjugator and savior of the land at the end of the world, our ideal king.
How unusual, Nitocris. You may be a great bird, but you were never the type to shout in such a loud voice. I don't know if I like that voice for him. It seems you've taken quite a liking to them. No, that doesn't fit for him either. I think I prefer the previous voice. I'm not gonna go for that Hans voice. But I think that I'm not doing it any justice. You know what, we'll just roll with the voice that it was giving him the second one. I don't want to give him close to a Gilgamesh voice, even though they're both King of Kings, in a sense. Well, actually, no, technically Gilgamesh is King of Heroes. He is technically King of Kings. It seems you've taken quite a liking to them. Haha, how joyous, truly joyous.
I apologize, Pharaoh, to utter your true name in such a loud manner. That was something for your majesty to do. I'd regret it thoroughly.
Indeed, the crime for stealing my amusement is heavy. Afterwards, cut off an arm and place it in a jar.
Yes, thank you for your kindness.
Now then, you're the travelers from a foreign nation? My name is Ozymandias. I am a god. I am the sun. I am the pharaoh who rules this land. That has not changed in the past or the present. I grew somewhat tired of being called a rider. This small throne is simply one diversion from my boredom. Also, above all, I'm quite sleepy now. I feel like an old man who has just awoken from the abyss of death. Thus, I intend to keep this brief. Listen to my grand voice. Oops. And remember from the bottom of your soul, your envoys from Chaldea, you have repaired 5 singularities thus far. And now you appear here in the 6th wedge, this holy land of Set. I am already aware of all that. If you would question my knowledge, then the answer should now be apparent. I hold the Holy Grail which you seek. Are you a demon god pillar? As if I would side with the king of mages. When I descended upon this land, I seized it. I seized it from the Crusaders. It was fitting for a true king such as myself, after all.
King Ozymandias, that's surprising, but,
Silent nodded in agreement. Did it just come off? Unthinkable. You must be tired from the trip. While disrespectful, I will forgive you this once. There's nothing wrong with my head, and now that I have the Holy Grail, Whoops. Silently staring at you with, did you see that look on his face? Try to avoid eye contact. Nitocris!
Yes, what do you require, Pharaoh?
I don't feel well. I'd like to move my body a bit, call some fire sprites to wake me up. Here I come, Master of Chaldea. I particularly enjoyed your silence just now.
Master, for reasons unknown, Pharaoh Ozymandias is gearing up for battle.
Okay, as expected, this king is a problem child who's always just lived by his own rules. Gil much? King Gil would get along just well.
「祈りは済ませたか」「トナカイに乗る」「なめてくれたね。こいつは高くつくよ。行くよ。プレゼントの時間だ。シャー。サンタからの奥聖夜に沈め。モルガー
Well,
なめてくれたね。こいつは高くつくよ。ここが命の張りどころってね。任せな。私の名前を覚えていき、てめえを超えるドラゴン。太陽を落とした女ってな。
いよいよ多少はやるか。
子よりは地獄。私たちは炎、雨、成り上がりか。
いよいよ多少はやるか。地上にあってファラオの真意を見る。
Haha, nice try, Pharaoh.
任せな。やらんぞ。は
や
ダジャクダジャク。脆い脆い。
Man, what's with the lack of jack cards?
いいね。そうだよ。
この程度か。
思う存分解体させてね。
Oh, we got some magic lamps. Hey, that was quite heating for mere amusement. Thanks to that, my head feels better.
Pharaoh, what exactly, do you intend to punish these people?
Naturally, their objective is the Holy Grail. The Grail now belongs to me. That means they will eventually try to kill me. I have no intention of letting them live.
What? Are you saying that I personally brought your enemies before you, Pharaoh?
Indeed I am, however... Nitocris, I hadn't told you about the Holy Grail, nor have I shared with you any knowledge relating to its singularity. That was my own blunder. This is not your crime. And that is all because... I only thought they had perished around the fourth singularity. So much for my speculation. Really, he thought we lost in... London? Good grief, you're far too slow. Slow. There's a limit to how slow one should be. Oh, Master of Chaldea, Humanity in this era collapsed long before you arrived.
King Ozymandias, what exactly does that mean?
Exactly as I said it. In this era, there should have been a war to claim the Holy Land. One side defending and one side invading. A merciless slaughter between two absolutely incompatible nations. At the end, one side would have claimed the Holy Grail, and the Holy Land would have been a seedbed for a demon god pillar. That is, if you had arrived in this land just a little earlier.
But that didn't happen. So that means the war to capture the Holy Land never occurred, correct?
After all, the Grail is in your possession, King Ozymandias.
You were likely summoned by someone on the Crusaders' side.
And then you naturally opposed them, taking the Holy Land as your own. Is this territory of Egypt something you summoned, and is that what caused the collapse of humanity in this era? Who are you? You seem to be quite knowledgeable. She's Da Vinci-chan. Da Vinci-chan. I don't know of an heroic spirit by that name. However, I can tell by your beauty, but true beauty comes true knowledge after all. Listen, Da Vinci, or whatever your name is, I intend to take you as my concubine one day. Plan accordingly.
No, my intelligence is only a tiny bit higher than yours, O great Sun King. So, was my theory correct? Can we assume that you're the singularity in this era?
I'm sorry to say you're mistaken, foreign sage. Did you think that I, the all-powerful Sun King, would use a poisoned chalice such as the Holy Grail? I am simply the holder and the protector of the Holy Grail. I have no interest whatsoever in the Holy Land. Therefore, listen carefully. The one who turned this era into a unique singularity and utterly destroyed all humanity. He sits on the throne in what was once Jerusalem, that sacred city devoid of all hope, which is where you're headed. They call him the Lion King, the infamous pure white Lion King. Well then folks, we'll conclude this video for right now, because it's going into one of those lengthy videos, and I know we haven't gone too far, but it's been a lot of dialogue. In any case though, good luck, and I'll keep things, running them by the pages.